to the Craig and Tizz Show.
Well, here we are.
Hi, thanks for stopping by.
To listen to the barman and old annoying.
Some old annoying guy.
I know I'm a barman now. I'm not a milkman anymore.
I gotta change that, don't I? At least it's one syllable. Barman works perfect.
Yeah, it works. I mean, I was quite excited to do asshole, to be honest. Listen to the asshole.
Asshole, and it's still on my desktop if you want the WAV file.
I've still got. I sent it to Booms, and he said something.
What did he say?
Do you want to know what Booms said?
Yes.
You know where it says password? Is that where I put my password?
He said
right, related to what we were told. Sorry.
Yeah, you might want to get in the game, man.
But no, Booms did actually once say that to me. And I'm still not over it. I can't. It's one thing that like I just. Oh, right. Anyway,
that's funny. I got two quick anecdotes.
Okay.
First off, this morning on the Facebook post for today's show. First off, Miss Happenings commented and said that our show doesn't make sense, which I took as a huge compliment because that's exactly what we're going for. And then also in Facebook, the Meta AI, asks questions, right? The first question was, what is the purpose of the Craig and Tizz Show? I thought that was the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So, when we figure it out, we'll let you know.
I'm just waiting for it to say, why the Craig and Tizz Show?
I think we ask that question every week, don't we?
Definitely at the start, but never at the end.
No. At the end we go, why was the Craig and Tizz Show? Anyway, today's topic, sir. Go ahead. You remember because you came up with it. No, maybe Will kind of came up.
No,
with it.
This was your topic.
Well,
does age affect your ability to write music that fits current trends?
I can't remember. I'm too old.
Oh well, maybe it does affect your ability. What is music?
I've heard of it. No, I mean, I will go out on okay, look, I'm going to state my case right here. First off, being the age I am, I will say that, and I was talking to Kat about this this morning. For me, 70s classic rock was the best era of rock and roll. Everything else since then has been kind of, I'm less than impressed. And I will also say, if you ask me to name any popular bands like in the late 90s or 2000s, I probably couldn't name any of them because I don't listen to popular music or what's hip or what the cool kids are listening to. I listen to the same weird prog stuff all the time. So, in terms of me writing stuff that, fits the norm, I wouldn't know how. I'm not even sure what the norm is right now. So.
I mean, it's a bit of a weird one to go with because whilst current trends, it kind of gives it a different dynamic just when you say it like that. But if I said something like, Craig, can you make a classical composition in the stylization of Mozart in B flat minor with preferably arpeggiated fifths all the way through?
I understand that, yeah.
But could you just go and make that?
No, technically no.
All right, Craig, could you make a piece of music that has all the pop stylings of the current top 40?
I'd have to research it.
This is what I mean. Like we can come to this going like there's going to be if we're going purely by age, there are going to be people that have not experienced certain types of music. Therefore, it's not on their radar. Therefore, would they make it? Beyond a happy coincidence? Probably not. You've also got
Well-
the side of do you even like it to make it? Would you want to go through that process to make something like that?
Yeah. For me, it's more like familiarity. Like I'll be in the chat box on XRP and somebody will say, well, that last track sounded just like Depeche Mode. And I'll go, Depeche Mode, huh? I've heard of them, but I've
Yeah.
never heard them. You young guys will always reference a lot of these groups that, obviously and you listen to. Maybe I've heard the names on a lot of that stuff. I've never listened to that stuff.
I always tried not to. So a big thing when XRP started, when a lot of the independent radio started, one of the big things to do was to play independent bands alongside signed bands of a similar genre and a similar quality. Now, the problem with this is you saw a lot across social media of bands going, I just got played next to Metallica. How cool was that? I just got played next to the Chili Peppers. How cool was that? I don't know why. Britney Spears, Metallica, and Chili Peppers are always my go-to references for this conversation. But
that's true.
But like it's somewhat so like, say, for instance, someone was scrolling through social media and let's just make independentish radio posts on your social on your feed. The new Metallica, I keep going Metallica, let's stay there. Metallica track is just out and we're playing it now. And you're thinking, I like Metallica, let's go listen to that, right? And you listen to it from start to finish. And they're in a play run, so they play just another track straight after it. And that happens to be an unsigned and independent band.
Right.
Now, you've got layers upon layers of things to think about here. So first layer is, yes, all those people that were listening to Metallica are going to roll into your tune.
Right.
Great. That sounds good. That's a good start. Problem is, say there's 1,000 people listening to that, and then it rolls into your tune, right? Now, this may just be because now Metallica's not playing. I've had my fill. See you later. So if they did that on my Everest cast, which is our panel that deals with all our radio statistics, I would see, when we played Criag after Metallica, 999 people logged out. That don't look too good.
That don't look too good.
You know what I mean? That's like Craig's made nearly 1,000 listeners disappear from, we won't play Craig again. And it's nothing actually to do with that. It's the fact that a load of Metallica fans wanted to listen to that track, and now Metallica's not on. They're not bothered.
And they're going somewhere else, right?
Yeah. You've got to think of it a bit like social media back in the like wars, as I like to call them, where everyone was just like my page, you like my page. And what ended up happening is you'd have 1,000 people on your page, but 800 of them didn't care, hid your post, scrolled past them. So instead of Facebook saying, they've got 1,000 new likes, or even Facebook saying, the 200 people are interacting really well with this, what they're actually seeing is 800 people have unfollowed, unliked, walked away from this. So we're not going to distribute this page's information to anyone else, or we're going to distribute less until they start creating content that makes people stop unfollowing them. And again, that has nothing to do with the quality of music. You've just got a lot of the wrong people to listen to it. So it is really, really important to make sure that you're going to a platform that definitely is going to resonate with what you're trying to do. If you send a really lo-fi track to BBC Introducing and it just so happens to get played for whatever weird reason, I know they say no publicity is bad publicity, but bad algorithms fuck your whole shit up. It's the only way to put it. If someone hears it and they like it compared to 10 people hearing it that don't like it, that's what you call good publicity. It's out there and you're getting those few people that you like. The problem is everything now works on numbers and algorithms. So instead of people seeing the few messages that BBC get from the few people that like that track, what actually they look at is the statistics, and they see how many people unlistened to that track, as it were. They say with Facebook, unliked your page, unfollowed you. Then everyone looks at the unside at the moment. How do we stop people from leaving? Especially with big stations, they don't need to grow their listenership. Their listenership will be there forever.
They're established. Yeah.
Especially with UK FM radios. We're in a much smaller landmass. So those bigger stations have solidified themselves over there. They may have changed names. I mean, we had Galaxy and then Capital FM, and it was all basically the same thing. So when, and especially in the mainstream as well, but even in the independent, you know, you get, you know, all us DJs, producers, promoters speak to each other. I was speaking to East London Records the other week. I was speaking to Bespoke again recently. And we talk about music and what's come up. And, you know, Martin might turn around to me and go, oh, so we're looking for post-hardcore bands. These are the ones on our radar. Do you play them? And I can go, oh, we played this one, but everyone left the chat.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're doing a lot of negative help statistically. And it's whether... So some people can go to a station knowing that they're going to be alienated from that station. So it doesn't matter, as it were. I'm going to go there and there might be... I know I'm never going to get played again, and there might be the off chance that 10 people listen to it that do actually like it. But the rest is not for the rest of the station. End of. See you later.
Right.
Yeah, okay, do it that way. If you're pushing it to the bigger stations and it gets on one of them and they go, fuck, let's tell all the rest, you know, it gets on BBC Introducing and they go, okay, best make sure that the rest of BBC Radio 1, 2, 3, 4, digital, online, 3 mix, whatever you want to call them, don't play that track because it went that bad.
But don't you think that, you know, XRP, though, is a bit of an anomaly because we play everything. We don't have like a real targeted genre, right? I mean, everything that comes through style-wise gets a spin. You know, we're not concentrating on, you know, post-metal punk or whatever, you know, that type of thing.
Yeah,
we don't have a real focus, you know.
I didn't want this to turn around to be like, well, every other radio station does this, but XRP doesn't. It doesn't. We don't. But
it doesn't matter. It is what it. Yeah, it is what it is.
Saying that on another side, XRP as a whole doesn't, but certain shows definitely do. Cast as a pop show.
Oh yeah,
you know,
I agree.
And
yes.
his outright turned around to me and gone, "We got this new submission in. I played it. Everyone hated it. I'm not playing it again." There you go.
Yep.
So it does even happen here. I mean, we can't deny it doesn't happen here because we have a propensity, because of the type of hip hop and rap music that we get sent in. Most DJs tend to side swerve it because they don't want to have to deal with the whole conversation that you've got to have after it. So
I get it. I get it.
You know, especially if it's a more gang rap or dropping the M-bomb in every line to rhyme. You know,
let me go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say I'll attempt to come at it constructively. Like I'll say you've got a good flow, you've got this, but your lyrics are a bit lazy or whatever. But the negativity's already been done. You'll have the chat box all talking about it, and that's already got the stigma. So if one of those 10 people that might have been in our chat box when we played it are there in another show, they'll go, "Oh, I remember this one. It's the shit one, and it's already got the stigma before we've even played it." It's a shame.
But you will play classic stuff like DJ Beef Supreme, who is a genius.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure he hates me though.
He probably does, but that's a whole different conversation. Here's a question. Okay, as a creator right now, should I feel like bad that my music doesn't sound like the popular stuff of the day? Am I doing a bad job, or am I just expressing myself with what I have and the style that I understand? I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, I don't like so much sound like all the popular stuff. You know, what do you think?
Again, a hard one to say. This I can easily rate by my beration of you last week, honestly, Craig.
It was a beration. Don't use big words like beration to me, man.
I don't even think berate it would come from. I don't think it's an actual word, though, in fairness. But my point here is, like, I was genuinely upset about that More AI track because it's not what I wanted to hear. Thus, should Craig Allen Hecht do pop music? Probably not, because it's not what I want to hear. it's all, you know, beautiful. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
I love that. Thank you very much. It's so funny. That album, the kind of Craig album, I actually for the first time ever sat down late last night and listened to the entire album as a whole. And I came away with, you know something? If this was 1985, that would have been probably a really popular hard rock pop album because it was great. But it's different times, you know, but it holds together as a record really well. I was quite amazed,
Hello,
actually.
DUI.
I mean, you know, I'm playing one of those tracks today. This is kind of like, look what this thing will do, you know, but I got it out of my system. I just wanted to see what the thing was capable of. And it's pretty cool, but I'm not going to use it as a tool, but yeah, the album's good.
See, again, everything's, so there's so much relativity in this conversation. It's quite hard to get a proper nail in it because, like, for me, I'll every so often I'll do something arty. I'll do those pixel parlor art things that I did not so long ago. I'll draw a picture, I'll pop it online. I did it myself. I go, I did this. There you go. And some people go, that's cool, and some people won't. And sometimes I feel like, because the feeling of music is a whole, I mean, it's not a small hobby. Drawing can just be a pencil and a piece of paper. It can also be a lot of art equipment, you know, but once you start getting into making music, you sit in rooms like we are both sat in, and we have a lot of pride in our stuff. And, you know, all musicians realistically are gearheads. You know, I'll talk about I love my speakers, I love my keyboards, I love everything in this room. I picked it specifically me so I could work in that way, and it has a bit more kind of substance to it. I think more independent musicians, while still being proactive and motivated about pushing their music forward, should start looking at it as other things that they also do, that they show people. You know, I look at drawings that I've done, I put them out there, and the music that I've done, like, I want more out of it, but it's still a creative project that I've just put out to the world, and people will either like it or dislike it at the end of the day. We've put more effort into our music than I did with my drawings or my little perler arts or whatever I'm doing, and that's why these conversations start to happen. Because we've put all this effort, we've put part of our life, more of our time, more of our money. It's almost like a business setup when you're doing music. You know, especially when you're producing, you get a computer, you work out your time scales, you find out time where you can make music. It is more business-like than I'm just going to get a piece of paper out and draw. I'm not, and for all those other creatives that do draw, videography, blah, 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 I'm not putting you down in any way. And I know at the higher levels, you know, you have fancy cameras, special canvases, charcoal pencil, that all do cost. I'm not putting that down. It's just music specifically seems to have just got it. People go into it with a business acumen. You know, people go into it going, I want to make gigs and play gigs, earn money, make merch, earn money. Whereas, like, so for a band, if you want to make money, you get 100 t-shirts or whatever.
Right.
Artists, realistically, they draw a picture. It's a very good picture. They can sell that picture, and they can sell cheaper reproductions of that same picture. You know, so we musicians go into shit a lot harder, which brings this conversation more to it. If we're talking just purely, does age stop you from? I mean, you look in the charts now. I mean, Kylie Minogue's still a thing. How fucking did she die recently? I forget. But you know, she was still doing pop music up until very recently. She must be in her 60s. Madonna, you know, obviously. I mean, Michael Jackson, he must have been pretty fucking old when he went.
50s, I think.
Yeah. So you know, these are, like, it happens. It's there. You know, there are old people that make pop music that got super, super popular. End of story. Yeah. If we're talking about it in the independent world, we're a little bit jaded because independent artists tend to do a little bit more of what the fuck they want, not what their management company's trying to push them to do.
Well, yeah, that's true.
So it means you're less likely from your ethical standpoint to just create the kind of music that's super popular and fills in all those gaps. Now I take a lot of stuff with a pinch of salt because there are a lot of kind of music influencer kind of people, singers, majoritively, that do make pop music. You see a lot of these the songs that get used a lot in reels. I can hear them all in my head, but probably shouldn't sing them because if they're in reels, I'm definitely going to get picked up on Facebook.
Yeah,
and they make good pop music, and they're trying to get their foot in that industry. Could me and you make a pop song, Craig? I reckon we could.
Sure, we could.
Do we want to?
No.
I think that's the main thing that stops us from, we'd probably put a lot more effort into trying to generate a pop song because we'd have to learn a lot of stuff and do things in a particular way that we're not used to. Yes, right. Okay, there's technical reasons why we couldn't make a pop song today, but we probably could by the end of the week if we really wanted to.
I would say so. Sure.
So, yeah, I don't think it's a case of not being able to. I think it's a big case of, like, if it was super easy, we'd do it tomorrow. Like, we'd do it for a laugh. If it was real easy, we'd do it as a joke.
Well, what's the old line? If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think for me, I think the fun in it is the process. I mean, it can be frustrating, it can be maddening, but if you're really dedicated into writing a song, like you've got the vision in your head, to go through all the work and all the trial and error and all the different, permutations of the song, in the end, when you have something that's done and you're proud of it, there's a great sense of accomplishment there, and you guys know that listen to what I do. I'm certainly not concerned with making popular music. I was in a Facebook group the other day, and they asked, one of the questions was, do you make music for yourself or do you make music for the public? And I had to answer, I make it for me, really, but I've always said if someone else enjoys it too, well, that's a plus, but I don't specifically write for that.
I always like to say I make music for myself with the intent of the public to listen.
Yeah.
So, exactly. Like, when I made something, like, don't get me wrong, I mean, you've heard some of the absolute crazy prog electronica productions that I've done. Sure. Definitely for myself, and definitely to be shared with friends such as yourself that will get it, Mm-hmm. But when I'm making something that I want people to listen. I want more people to listen to. Then, like, I mean, Still Smoking, the original lyrics to Still Smoking were a bit too aggressive, shall we say, a bit sweary, a bit too aggressive, a bit over the top. And whilst I was saying what I wanted to say at that point, I knew that a lot of people would get into that first rap section at the start and be like, no, not for the kids and probably not for me. So I took a lot of that out, and it became a lot catchier. That chorus became super catchy, and it's one of the few songs that I've ever wrote that played at a gig or in the right place, people sing along with, and that's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Is that the song that I wrote for me that I wanted to put out for me? Not entirely, actually. Do I now prefer the version and the response that it's had since? 100%. Would I release the original version again? Not in a million years. No chance.
Yep.
I've just noticed that my chat box is just weirdly logged.
I just noticed you just got crashed. Yeah.
There we go. You get to see what's on my wall, and then you get to see the chat. There we go.
That's fine. Well, actually, my I don't know. It's just I don't, because mine's up fine. Yeah. When I think about like pop music and stuff, that's why I came up with the weenies. The weenies whole concept of that is it's supposed to be, safe music, catchy music, sing along with it. That was the weenies. It was supposed to be a pop music thing. That's my interpretation of it. You know,
and again, like pop music is relative to its own situation as well. I mean, that was pop from realistically 60s, early 70s kind of
exactly.
Beatles
That was
pop.
it. Right.
So again, can we make pop music? Well, actually, yes, Craig, you did, but it's not today's pop music.
No, not at all. That wasn't the idea.
Yeah,
It was targeted as like 60s.
Yeah. So again, would 60s pop lovers love that? Probably.
Oh yeah,
probably.
Sure they would.
Well, one of my biggest issues is, whilst I know a lot of listeners, a lot of musicians, one of my hardest things, I used to do it when there was only a few people to deal with an XRP, and it'll be like, I just got this new jazzy track, and Asia from Catch a Vibe loves jazz, so we'll put it his way. And like, if this was 10 years ago and you'd bought that track, I'd probably turn around and go, I know the exact people that would like this. And it's a lot different these days. A lot different.
Oh, I know.
A lot more people and a lot more music to have to remember as well.
Yeah, that's for
Which
sure.
is going to be very useful on our all new Tasty XRP website, which I haven't spoke about much in this show yet, but I think it's about time, half an hour in, to play a track, and then we'll talk a little bit about the website afterwards.
Wonderful idea. Today's first track is a song called Yield by Mossfight.
That's right.
Yeah, I had this song on my list for like the last 2 weeks. We kept running out of time for these guys. Actually, the next two were like that too. That's okay. We finally got them.
Well, just don't push it onto me. I don't want what you give. I don't need what you preach. I will not bend. I will not break. I will not bow. I will not yield. You're free to think the world's a cupcake too. But don't tell me how to run my life. Who can I love and who's to spite? I don't want what you give. I don't need what you preach. I will not bend. I will not break. I will not bow. I will not yield.
False ending.
False ending.
Ooh.
Also, this swing time.
Ragnar it up a little bit.
Yep. Didn't see this coming. That's a nice group.
Yeah.
Then back to this.
Love that frame before. little discordant ending there. Lots of musicianal tricks in that. A bit of 3/4 swing to make the jazz, to make the reggae beat that went into that kind of swung rock beat at the end. That was very clever.
Yeah. Yes.
Some very good guitar work during that period as well.
I agree. Also,
the most hated thing of all radio DJs, the false ending in the middle, but done quite well. I'll allow it just this once.
Just this once, guys.
But next time I play it, if that false ending's in it, next time I play it,
it's off.
It's off. It's off and on.
Yep, that's right. Wow,
it's off and on.
Yeah.
DUI. Going back to the conversation that we were having, talking, making music is about growth and pushing your limits. And that there was a YouTube content maker that did chat. I've noticed this. Like, I don't know whether this is meant because of independent musicians, but like I've noticed when people talk about musicians on like TikTok or YouTube, they're not, oh, I saw a musician on YouTube. It's always this content creator, this influencer, this TikTok music maker is never, I don't know why, but independent musicians don't like calling YouTube and TikTok musicians, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I understand. I cannot stand the word content. I just can't stand it. Don't tell me my music is content. It's music.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Content is, it's a horrible word that's being used recently, and it just feels like, you know, if it reminds me of my English teacher, who, when I was doing my multimedia studies, it's English multimedia, so like, you know, newspapers and printed press and stuff. And I did a whole advertisement campaign for a made-up perfume brand.
Yeah.
And when I handed it in, and I thought I'd pulled a blinder, my English teacher turned around to me, and it's the first time I'd ever heard it like this. And we're talking like 19 years ago or longer. And I remember it the first time I heard like content creator, it made me think of her specifically, because she turned around and went, "It's very good, but you need more content." And that was my first kind of thought of what content is. It's filler.
Right.
You know, there's a good work.
Oh yeah, right.
There's a good work. You need like, you know, I've heard since back before social media and YouTube and such was quite such a massive thing. I've heard bands like come into my studio, record an album, 8-track album, and they're like, now we need more content for the album. And it's content has always, to me, before YouTube and whatever, came across as, we need to fill it up. You know, we need some extra. You've got, you know, Frodo left the Shire and dropped a ring in a volcano. Where's the middle bit? And in that case, it's just walk.
Pretty much walk and talk.
No, there's an elf. Walk.
Yeah, there's an elf. Yeah, that's true though.
Walk.
Well, that's one thing.
Walk. Hide in the hills. Yeah. Walk. There's a fantastic. This isn't my comedy. I hate to say. There's a great Australian content creator who makes great music. Honestly, and he did a parody of. It was it's done as a song, but it's the artist, the musician, is pretending to be J.R.R. Tolkien, and the bigwigs of the publishing company have gone, okay, tell us about the book, and then he starts going, basically saying exactly what I just said. Walk.
Walk.
Now there's an orc. Walk. It's very
spider.
I'll have to find the video for you, and the best thing, the original video is just one of those multiple. So like he plays all the instruments, and you just see him switch into those videos.
Okay, yeah,
so
sure.
switch. Now I'm playing guitar, right? But someone went away and made an animation to it, and it's absolutely fucking hilarious in fairness.
That sounds like it.
But yeah, again, he's come and he's a very talented musician, like very talented. He plays a lot of instruments. He's a good composer, and he is an excellent parody style lyricist. I mean, like the stuff that he comes up with is excellent. That's not the only thing he's done. But again, mostly there's another thing, Mr. Wobbles as well. He's like he does the kind of cam to cam street, where you chat roulette, meet random people. But he'll be in his own studio and he gets the reactions of the people and he like samples their voices and puts it into a tune. It's all very good. But again, he's known as a YouTube creator, not a musician. It's crazy.
That's funny.
I guess this goes back to the original topic of age, of like, is the term musician now not a term that people are aspiring to be in the current popular culture?
That's a great question. Are you a musician or do you want to be a content creator? Yeah. That's interesting.
Because I see people that I would consider to be musicians portray themselves as influencers or content creators.
Well, they probably figured they get more views that way. If you do the whole YouTube thing, you can monetize it and do well. And
well, I mean, you can go on YouTube without being like XRP's on YouTube. We're not just we're radio. We're a radio station. We're not creating content. We're just doing radio shows and uploading them.
Yeah, true.
So I think, but like a lot of people go out, and I always thought that content creators, like, or influencers, when I look at it, it seems to be people with some clout that realistically end up getting sponsorships that are to do with them. Yeah. So say if I put myself out as an influencer, I'd be like, and this is the new SE mic, which I do love. They get it for free off me, cunts. Sorry. But you know what I mean? Like, I always see influencers almost as like the new version of QVC.
They really are, man. We watch a lot of, well, you guys know this. We watch a lot of Disney YouTubers, my wife and I, and now they've all started, here's some home food subscription service is sponsoring my video today, or they're getting more and more product placement now, which like a couple of years ago, you did not see that, but now it's the new hot thing.
Well, it was weird because say 5 to 7 years ago, a lot of them were getting their own deals and they'd talk about something that they genuinely. So, like in the middle of this radio show, for instance, we go, and I just a minute to talk about my favorite microphone. You know what I mean? And it kind of went like that. And then all of that suddenly stopped, and it was like direct in-stream ads. So they do it, and then in the middle of the show, a professional ad would just come in.
Right. Yep.
And now it seems to be this weird mix of both. So you press play on YouTube, you get 5 YouTube ads that kill your brain cells, and then you do the show, and then halfway through the show, they do an advertisement themselves. And in some of these YouTube videos, the product placement is absolutely astronomical, like in between, not just at the moments they're talking about, but like you'll have so the comedy groups that are all sitting there making jokes and drinking, and they'll drink like this,
so you can see the bottle, right?
It's like, oh, have you got a little sponsorship deal there just to show that off a little bit by any chance? The drink's going down their side because they got...
I mean, the part that pisses me off, right? I pay for YouTube Premium, so I don't see ads. Well, it doesn't help me now because now embedded in the videos is product placement anyway. So what the hell?
That's what I mean. And it's good and bad because it's giving I don't want to say YouTubers, influencers, or content creators, creative producers, the ability to have create and be involved in and have that stigma, the kudos of having a professional advertiser on their TV show. I mean, let's bear in mind, all the content we used to watch was on originally 4 to 5 channels, now on 999 million channels, intersected every 15 minutes by 3 minutes of adverts. So it's weird. I find it so weird when older people complain. I understand younger people complaining about ads, But older people, it's like, this is the best it's ever fucking been.
That's
Skip! Skip! What are you on about, Skip? Can you imagine sitting down there between the in the break between Thunderbirds and Stingray and having a skip button?
That'd be amazing. You got to remember, man, back when I was a kid, we didn't have hardly remote control for TV. We had 4 channels. If you wanted to change it, you had to get up off your ass and get over to the TV and turn the knob. So things have come pretty far.
I can't remember if it was my nan or my aunt, but they had one of the ones that had the plug-in remote.
Oh yeah,
that little silver, weird, perfect square, almost looked like a original NES Nintendo controller.
Sorta, yeah.
And it plugged in with what seemed to be like a jack lead, but it was like way bigger than any 1/4 inch that I've ever seen.
Right.
But I do remember them, and I also remember when you'd get a VHS, and the first half an hour of that VHS was adverts.
Oh God, yeah, for sure.
Like so many adverts at the start, and even worse if you rented one from fucking Blockbuster.
Oh God, yeah. Doesn't that seem like 1,000 years ago, man? Video stores, and what I really miss is, you remember like CD stores and like stores with albums and stores with movies, and so much less now.
Yeah, I do miss perusing a CD store.
Me too.
Just
flipping through. That's a lost art, Tiz.
Yep. It was. I do miss that massively. I miss the joy that I had. There's a specific thing, and I know I've told you this about this before, Craig, but when the whole of the family got lazy, I guess, for Christmases and birthdays, we basically just ended up exchanging gift vouchers. Mm-hmm. Me and my dad and my brother always got there was a store in the UK called HMV, His Master's Voice, from the records, the dog sitting, Kipper the dog.
I remember him.
And we got stupid amounts of vouchers. Usually for Christmas, me, my brother, and my dad would be walking into HMV with like £200 to £300 worth of HMV vouchers. It was silly. Everyone just got us HMV because they knew this was the thing that we did. And we'd get in. And we always, at Christmas, HMV did these little booklets, and it would be like £2 off 2 CDs, £5 off £40 spend. So me, my brother, and my dad would go around, buy all the things that we thought we wanted for the amount that we wanted, and then we'd work out how much we could save. And we would literally go up to the checkout like 6 or 7 times. Go, okay, so we've got one of the £100 vouchers, so let's get £100 worth of stuff, then you go up. And then, okay, we've got 20 CDs, here's a 20 CD voucher. And it was all done in little bits, and it was a whole fucking experience. And then we got home, and there'd just be me and my dad on the one sofa, my brother on the other sofa, and we'd just be hunched over album covers, and we'd put one CD in, we'd all listen to it, and we'd be passing it around, and it was just such a nice experience.
Yeah, I really miss that.
Now, what I hate, like my favorite experiences was going pixie circling with my friends with one CD player in the middle of us, and us all putting on a CD and chatting about it. And the best thing about that is the track finished.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
These days, oh, you heard this track? You hear 5 seconds. Oh, what about this track? This one's quite funny. Oh, this is the one that I listen to when I wake up, and it's like I've heard 20 seconds of 8 different songs in 3 minutes.
Yep.
I don't know if I like any of them yet.
I hear that for sure. What I really miss is when I was a kid going to record stores, vinyl stores, and discovering new bands that you'd never heard of because the cover looked cool. Yeah. Because back then there wasn't internet to tell you what was cool. Yeah. We had like magazines. We had Rolling Stone, we had Circus, we had New Musical Express out of London. We had Kerrang. These things might tell you what to look for. But I'd be flipping through and see like some cool looking metal band. I found more metal stuff like Pile Driver. I found like that. Thor, a lot of old metal. Budgie, really old classic metal stuff. I didn't know who they were, but man, the covers look really cool. You look at the back, and the song titles look cool too. And it's like, hey, let's try it. But yeah, I miss all that discovery.
I remember doing the discovery. I was a little bit later, but you surely remember the machine. Well, maybe you do. We had these machines in HMV and Virgin in the UK. They're not there anymore. And you could take the CD up, scan the barcode, and listen to it on a little machine.
Yep. We had that with vinyl, actually.
Oh, there was one
Back
room.
in the day.
There was a room, and it was called the Easy Listening Room, but it had all the vinyls in. And there were decks up at the back that you could go and put the vinyl on and listen to it. Apart from, like, it was always full of like tweed suit wearing, brown tie, like classical music lovers. And we go in there and like we like three mates, and we weren't being loud or horrible, but we'd go in there and we'd go and listen to something probably very heavy on a record, and we would be asked for kindly to leave. And we're like, but this is the only place we can listen to the record before buying it. It's like, but this is the easy listening room. And like, why have fucking Slipknot vinyls in here then? You like, what did you expect to happen? The only way that you're going to sell those vinyls is for kids like us to walk in here. Why are they there?
Well, where's the hard listening room then?
Good point.
Exactly.
Oh, we're really going through the ages today.
We really are jumping around. We should probably play some music, eh?
I was just about to suggest that.
All right. Today's next track up is a song called Gemini by DSL. Yeah, we're really jumping around today. That's good, though.
Yeah, there's still a place in the UK called FOP, I think it is, where you can get, like, it still proclaims to be predominantly a CD and record store.
It's been 10 years since I first met you.
Didn't you guys have a record store called HMV or something? Was that British?
That's the exact store that I've just been talking about. His Master's Voice with Pippa the dog and
that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't put two into HMV. All right.
Yeah. No, that's the place I was just talking.
If you would have said that, I would have said, "Oh yeah, okay."
I definitely said HMV. Is there any listeners that can confirm I said HMV like 10 times?
I got to make a new sound effect button that says, "He is really old. He is really old. He's really." Yeah.
Turn up the hearing aid.
Oh my God! Guest 402 knows who Pile Driver is.
I'm pretty sure that's DUI. Who's accidentally logged out.
Dude, I know more old heavy metal bands than you could shake a stick at. You guys would go, who?
I mean, you say that, but I had a lot of friends at college that were into.
You know the one guy that knows all the obscure bands I do is Richie Randall of Gravehuffer. I can bring up the most obscure fucking 70s thing. Oh yeah, I know them. I don't know how he does it. You know?
He has a vast musical mind.
He really does. Yes.
Yeah. See, I would almost have that mind if I remember, like, play a track to me. I remember it. You know, I heard it. Like, I could probably be like, I listened to this on when I went out on Halloween in 2020. 2020 is too late. Yeah. 2005 when I was in Halloween and that. But like, turn around to me and go, do you know the band Pile Driver?
Yep.
Play me a track. I'll be like, oh yeah, I do know them. Probably got their album somewhere. I didn't realise. My dad's he had a massive CD and vinyl collection, and I'll be like, "Oh, Dad, you know that CD you played the other day? It's like that." And he'll be like, "I don't have that." And then for 5 days later, he's playing, and he told me that you don't have that.
Yeah. No, I do miss the days back in school. You know, when you get like the new Yes album or something, right? You know, all your friends would come over and dissect the drum tracks or listen to that guitar fill or listen to... Nobody does that anymore, it seems like, you know?
No, it's the ability to skip. So people are like that, but they skip straight to the cool guitar riff and go, "Isn't that a cool guitar riff?" and then press pause. It's I think Spotify claims that the average listener time per track on there is something like 4 seconds.
Okay.
Well, that's skip it, go to the bit that they want to show people, and then carry on.
Well, that's just because nowadays people have short attention spans anyway. That's society, man.
I think terminology for mental issues, shall we say, has caused way more. Because don't get me wrong, years ago, like autism, ADHD, it's not a new thing. It's just now we've decided to deal with it in a very strange way, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
You know, I'm not saying ADHD isn't a thing and it isn't a thing that you have to deal with, but honestly, I remember a kid. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
That was Gemini DSL here on XRP Radio. Me and Craig were just talking in the background about the shortness of people's attention spans. Something like, I remember a while ago, Spotify had put out that like the average listenership was something ridiculous, like 5 seconds per full track. And Craig pointed out, well, people have shorter attention spans these days.
I think so.
And I was going to go into my rant because like the amount of times in the past 5 or 6 years compared, like, never happened before, and in the past 5 or 6 years, you know, I've had people like, I'll be in a conversation with someone and they've gone, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening, I got ADHD." It's the ADHD playing up again. And like, I know some people, so you know, autism, ADHD, they can have it in extremes and then it is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I fear that there are a lot of easy diagnoses down at the bottom level, and they get that diagnosis, and it's then an excuse for people to be like that. Like, if I was diagnosed, I probably have ADHD and autism. Everyone always says it to me. But, like, I approach it with, okay, I've got ADHD, so let's not be like that.
Yeah, you know, I get that.
Let's try and sit down and listen to a whole track. Let's try and sit down and play a game for 2 hours without getting up. And if I do that, I have succeeded in beating the issue. Whereas, like, yeah, so many people have come up to me and go, "Listen to this. Now listen to this. Have you listened to this yet?" And I'm like, "You've given me 30 seconds to listen to 8 minutes of music."
Yeah.
Back up. And he's like, "Yeah, no, but just listen to this bit." And I'm like, "But if I might find that guitar is amazing and the rest of the track shit." You know, you can't approach things like that. He's like, oh, sorry, I've just got ADHD. I'm impatient. I don't want to, you know, just hurry up. And I'm like, you're hurrying me up because you refuse to deal with something that you have.
Right. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people where I generally have music running through my head all day, even like in the background. I mean, constantly. Like if I'm speaking to someone, I'll guarantee you there's a music track going somewhere back behind the conversation, and I'll tune in on that instead. And I feel I'm very apologetic. Oh, give me a second. I just heard this thing, and okay, I'm so sorry. Now I can focus on what you're talking about. I have like this constant loop, you know.
I'll be in the middle of something on like, I'll be, I don't know, fixing a skate, doing something on my computer, and Kat will come up to me and have a whole conversation, and I'll have to turn around to her and go, "Babe, I'm not listening to you at the moment. Wait." And then carry on. Okay, now that's fine. And that's it. That's a way that, again, instead of just trying to absorb everything at once, I've segregated that, so I'm dealing with my problem. And the amount of people, like, I'm heavily epileptic. I don't turn around and go, "I'm just not going to go anywhere because I'm not allowed to drive." I get on a fucking bus instead. Not everyone wants to get on a bus, but I do that so I can go places. Deal with the problem. I find it very awkward when someone comes up to me and then go, you know, or I turn around a week later and go, "Did you do that?" And it's like, "Oh, no, I didn't. It's my ADHD playing up again." And I'm like, you should probably do. And people get a bit offended when you're like, "Well, why don't you try and combat that instead of just being like, I can't do things because I have ADHD." Let's be a little bit proactive about it. Move forward.
Exactly. Yeah, don't use it as an excuse, man. I mean, have it looked at.
I think that's a critical part of what's gone wrong with consumption of creativity, and I think that's partially why we now talk in the terms of content rather than a piece of creativity. Content seems more blasé. You can listen to it in 5 minutes. You know, you don't have to pay attention. You know, a film. You say, here is a film. Your brain goes 2 hours. You go, here is some content. It may be 2 hours long, but you can dip in, dip out, go back, go forward. You know,
It
makes it easier for the consumer to consume.
It does. It's just such a generic word. You know, content could be anything. It really does.
I mean, again, I've heard people now talking in terms of content and then creative content, where it's like, you know, content is just people fucking filling the internet with shit, and creative content is these people doing the cool shit on the video. But yeah, as terminology has really caused all creative industry to see, I don't know how to put it, just seem wrong. It's not this.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be how we
well, they're over complicating everything, basically,
or dumbing it down too much.
That's the other side of the coin, right?
I mean, I look at it and it's like, how do I put this? People, the excitement's gone a little bit or something. I don't know. The ability to be blasé about a lot of things it's become too easy for people. And I'm the same as well. Like the amount of times Kat sends me lots of reels and videos all the free, and she'll be like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "No," because that piece of content wasn't. It's a piece of content, so I can put it over there and deal with it when I want to.
Well, that's the nature of media now anyway. That's streaming. Yeah. That's everything. We can go back and watch everything as many times as we want to. We can pause stuff and walk away. We can save it for later. You know, this is the world now. Yeah. This is what it is.
Yeah. And I noticed there's a big difference. So Kat's a little bit more ADHD than me, shall we say. And like, I remember, like, me and my mates, like, one of us would get the new Simpsons VHS of the new season. Yep. And we'd hammer that thing. We'd watch it, like, every other day for, like, a month. I've noticed a lot of people, like I will go back and rewatch seasons of The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland Show, But Ups Burgers, all that kind of stuff. And I've watched probably a lot of them 4 or 5 times. And originally she's a bit she enjoys it a bit more now, but like originally when we go to watch something, I'll be like, "Oh, should we just chuck on some Bob's Burgers?" She's like, "But we've already watched it."
Yeah.
So it's kind of a flip of the coin problem where you've got these people that are like, "Oh, I can watch it later," but once it's watched, I'm done. See you later. And I worry that's going into music as well. Oh, we've heard that track, so that's done. Thanks.
Yeah, I can check that off my box. Yeah, thank you.
You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, I do. Yep, I do for sure.
You turn to people and go, "Did you hear that track?" Yeah, I did. It was all right. And that's the end of the conversation. It's not going in. Like, music is such the amount of times where me and you have sat here listening to a track and gone, "Didn't notice that organ before. Oh, hear that synth in the background filling all that space."
Yep.
You know? And you don't get that off one listen.
Good music is like an onion, you know, it has many layers, which is really corny, I know, but it's true. You know, a lot of really good music bears repeated listening because you're always going to discover something new. You know,
you know what? I always make a note of any track that I'm like, I've got to go listen to that again.
Well, stuff has to pique your interest right away. I mean, you know how it is. You hear songs and you go, "Well, that was nice, but it was okay." But you're not going to go back and listen to it, as opposed to stuff that hits you all of a sudden. You go, "This is amazing." And I'm definitely going to go back and give it replay after replay after replay. It's just a matter of how you, perceive it, I suppose, you know?
I mean, would you... Sorry. Would you? Elsie just walks in and she just went, "No," down my ear.
No,
I've lost what I was going to say now. I have no idea what I was going to say.
What was the question? We didn't ask her.
I know. I got to "would you," and it's gone.
She just walked in. No.
Yeah. Like completely
Spoken like a
ruined.
true.
You know
Yes,
what?
that's
Fuck
like-
it. Let's play another track. I've completely lost where I am.
You mean we have more? Oh my God,
We've
I
got
do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more.
We got 5 left to go here. This is Blackout by Stoned Turtle.
Now, weirdly,
That's something Connie would do. No.
weirdly with this track, so hashtag Stone Turtle is a
Yeah.
massive thing on social media, and it's people
Are they?
like and it's people taking pictures of things like not necessarily a turtle, but things
Yeah.
that look like a turtle. So like, there's one thing that's like the handlebars of a bike, and it's
Yeah.
the bit in the middle, and it does
Yeah.
look like a turtle.
Like a turtle.
It's like his little eyes like narrowed and everything.
Oh,
and then
funny.
then there was like, it's weird because I found out all this just by trying to find them on Facebook. So there's this whole group of people, and then there's a subgroup that are like the real Stoned Turtle, and then
Oh,
it's all
no.
about stones that look like turtles, like rocks and stones and stuff like. They've took a big picture of. Is it in America? There's a big thing called Turtle Rock.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, or somewhere in the world there's a big thing called Turtle Rock anyway, and it's people take. And this is the real stone turtle because it's a stone turtle.
That's funny.
But like, it's like a big aggressive community of people weirdly going, "Here's a stone turtle. That's not a stone turtle. This is a stone.
This is a stone
Brilliant.
turtle.
It's fucking hilarious."
Funny, man.
I don't know whether this is where they got it from, but like, it's massive. Like, I thought, I scrolled down and go, that's funny. And I scrolled down some more. I'm like, oh, people are really into this. And I was scrolling for like 5 minutes worth of hashtag Stone Turtle. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All different. Like, it's not just a small group as well. No name repeated. It's like, it's a whole fucking thing. Couldn't believe it.
Oh, funny. My biggest problem right now is I have to figure out a pronunciation. Is it the Michael Botti band or the Michael Bott band? How would
I've
you
always
say
said
that?
bot. I've always said bot.
Bott? Okay.
Yeah.
That works for me then. Well, cool.
If anything sounds like it could potentially sound insulting, I try and say botty. Botty is what most Afro-English people call a large woman's backside.
I've never known that, but thank you for the information.
She's got
Well,
a
you
big
thi-
body.
She has a big body. So
Yeah.
do you think our conversation is doing well, or should we switch over to Geek Time?
I mean, we're scraping it, but we can get.
I think we're doing okay.
What have we got, Geek Time? What have we done, Geek Time? Worked a lot. That's not very geeky.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played the. I don't know whether I said this. Yeah, I did say it the other week. The new Final Fantasy, the mobile Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Blackout Stone Turtle here on XRP Radio. I mentioned. I'll mention it briefer now, but I mentioned in the green room about how Stone Turtle is like this massive hashtag that. It's like a massive thing. I don't know whether they named their band because of it or it was a coincidence. I don't know. But there's 2 massive groups, hashtag Stone Turtle. The one group are trying to find things that look like a turtle that's high. And they're taking pictures of like bike handlebars and stuff like that. And they legitimately do look like high turtles. And the other group are like, no, this is not a stone turtle.
No.
This is a stone turtle, and it's pictures of like rocks and stones that look like a turtle, and it's like it's quite. I think it's comedically aggressive, but like they fight each other on social media. It's hilarious.
That's funny. No, the thing what strikes me is a stone turtle. How could you tell if a turtle was stoned anyway? They move rather slow.
Like, you know, it's the kind of wry high smile and narrow eyes. I guess. You know, eyes aren't fully open.
Yeah, hey man.
Hey man, you just I mean, you look at it's. I keep saying the bike handlebars. You look at these bike handlebars, and the first thing you think of is that looks like a stone turtle.
A stone turtle. Boy,
Yeah.
the stuff you think of.
Yeah, but
Man.
I mean, kudos to the if they chose that name because of that hashtag, that's quite a clever idea. And if they did it because they were involved in that hashtag, even funnier.
Fantastic. Hey, I'm going to throw you a curveball. I'd hate to do this to you on live radio.
Okay. It's how they know it's live.
That's how they're going to find out. Are you a Prince fan?
I'm not a Prince fan. I appreciate
not?
Prince. I appreciate.
I bring it up. This is not to get morbid, but this past week was the 10th anniversary of his passing already.
Really been that long?
Yes. Last Wednesday, I believe. Living so close to Minneapolis as I do here, and he's invented the Minneapolis sound, right? It's been a lot of celebration and a lot of memorials and that type of thing. And a lot of musicians here in this, area have a lot of Prince connections. A lot of us do.
Yeah.
So it's just a shout out to the memory of the man. I thought he was incredible. I saw him play live. I saw Connie and I actually went to the Purple Rain tour when he toured the album. And the thing about that guy, he could sit behind the drums and be a killer. Then pick up the bass, be a killer. Pick up the guitar. He didn't suck at anything. Any instrument you throw at that guy, he was just phenomenal. Not a weak spot on him.
The one thing I always rated Prince for is he's one of the very few musicians that were fully relaxed with whatever instrument was in their hands.
Yeah.
And that helps massively. Like, if you're nervous for a gig and you're all tense, like my bass playing dives down. If I'm chilling in my room with a little drum beat in the background, I'll play better than I've ever. Couple of beers, and I'm not just saying that because I'm drunk so I think I'm better. But like, I genuinely listen back to my playing, and I'm like, that ability to be relaxed is astonishing. I find myself just tapping. I'm not a great drummer. I can drum okay, but I'll find myself tapping in my own time just along to something that's on there, and I'm like, whoa, I'm doing like little triplet beats and all of that. Put a pair of drumsticks in my hand on a stage, not a chance. Man. Never happening. Yeah. So that's the one thing. Like, music style, not my massive cup of tea, and I don't even like tea. But but there are certain people. Michael Jackson was the same. He was just comfortable with what he did, and he bust out. Like, there's a few interviews where he's like, I kicked my leg up and everyone went wild. I didn't even mean to do that, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, that was just, I thought it was going to go well. It did go well. I was comfortable. It happened. There we go. Job done.
Just taking a chance. Yeah.
That comfortability to just and I remember there was a little period with the Mighty Jam Band specifically where I felt that. I just felt like we switched instruments a lot and we got so natural with it that the main worry, I think the biggest thing about the Mighty Jam was the equipment not working, not us playing well. So our nerves were over on computers and stuff. And when we actually had our instruments in hand, it was almost like, we control this now. This is in my power. Nothing can go wrong with this bit. Computer goes down, I can still play bass. You know what I mean? That level of comfortability, all of a sudden, you add in fills and trills that you never even recorded on the album, and you just comfortably, and you're nailing them, and you're looking at each other, and you're like, whoa, you just did that. All right, I'm going to do something. Yeah, like the power that was in it and the energy helped everything along.
I totally get that.
Yeah, but again, I'll do something that's or have done years and years ago, something that's a little bit out of my comfort zone. I didn't really like doing solo stuff a lot. Anytime I went out solo, I'd bring a guitarist to just sit on the stage with me, and make it a lot easier. And in doing that, like, because I'm attending the gig with nerves, like, I'm not good enough to do this. I've got a separate guitarist. My performance was nowhere near as good as the times where I've been at a drum and bass night and someone's gone, "Oh, Tizz is here, get him on stage, do an MC round." I'm like, "Oh yeah," and it's just natural because everyone's hyped you up. They've gone, "We want you on because we know you're good." So you're going on stage going, "I know I'm good." I wasn't even. I came here to watch the rave, not be part of it, and you all want me on stage. And those kind of freestyles that I did were astronomically better than anything that I tried to pull out of my hat in my own house, because you've gone there with that confidence, knowing that you know you can pull it out of the bag as soon as you step up.
That's almost a whole different topic for a show. There's ego, then there's confidence.
Yeah.
Two big different things as far as I'm concerned. I'm very confident in what I can do, but ego, I don't think ego is like an overinflated version of what you can do, because you think you can do those other stuff, but you really can't,
I'd say not so much, because ego comes with the ability, but the point of the ladder that you think you're on is exaggerated. So like you'll come at it going, I am the best guitar because I can do this, and you can do this, but there's like 10 million people up here.
Right.
That's what it is. And I find people with ego sometimes actually hold themselves back more, because it's like they may be able to do a triplet sweep pick, but they're not going to do it right then, because that's what they do really good. It's not even coming into their mind. I'm that good that I'm not even thinking about these things over here. Ego is definitely shackles in my mind. I've seen loads of people that are fantastic singers, but they know they're quite good singers. And I just sit there going, if you didn't approach yourself like that, you'd be even better, because you'd be trying. You'd be trying more. You're not sitting there going, I'm a great singer, so here we are. And again, with that confidence, I've seen astonishingly weird things. There was a vocalist that we used. We did, I've told you about this before. We did Darkness covers for a while. The Darkness band.
Sure.
And obviously, get your hands off of my high pitched voice.
No, we had
Richie. He was a fantastic singer in that, but like, there'd be times where like I'm talking to him before we got on stage, and he's got whiskey throat, and I'm like, come on, man, you need to relax your voice, you need to do something. And he's like, no, I'm gonna blow it out. No, I'm gonna be fine, don't worry about it. And he gets on stage, and somehow he hits the note, and he shouldn't hit the note, but his confidence was just like, I know I can hit this note, so I will. And he did it. And then we come away from stage, and I remember every time he did it, we'd be like, how? You're a fucking asshole. Your throat is absolutely wrecked. You smoked a 20 deck and a half bottle of whiskey, and then got on stage, and you still hit it. And he always said, because he has sung the song mostly in rehearsals and not hit it. And we're like, we need to work on this. And he's like, having a couple of drinks and knowing, like, having that comment, I will hit that note, makes me hit the note.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. Like, I could have just got out of vocal surgery, and if I know, because every time I've gone on stage I have hit that note, I'm gonna hit it again. In rehearsal, it doesn't matter as much, and I don't hit it, and I don't go into that going, I'm gonna hit this note in rehearsal. But I go, every time I go on stage, I go, I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be fine, and it will be fine. That's impressive. One day, I mean, I haven't seen him in probably 12 years or something now. One day, or already, he's going to blow out his throat at some point.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Oh, guaranteed. If he's still singing like that, anyway.
It's so funny when you talk about confidence. Like where we're at right now in our musical journey, right? Think of all the stuff that you know how to do right now, on your instrument, right? Subconsciously, that like a beginner, it might take them 6 months to figure out how you're doing that. But to you, it's just like breathing. You don't even give it a second thought. You just do it, right? That shows how far you are down the road of what your development is.
You're right. And I would say, like, I mean, so the main instrument that I can kind of focus on, obviously, is bass. I do play more classical instruments, but classical instruments take training because it's muscle memory for microtones and stuff like that. So that's a completely different ball game. But when it comes to bass specifically, I found that, like, you can have a lot of stuff's memory, remembering notes that go in the right order, or ear memory where you can just listen and go, these notes are going to fit, which is more what I do. A lot of people do the theoretical memory. But then the other side of it, the skill side, I always found, like, when I first got to double picking quick, so I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. Then I got it. And then I got it forever. And with slap, I tried and I tried and I tried and I tried. And then I just got it. And then it was there. So I don't know whether this is the same with all. I play a bit of guitar, but I've never really got hyper technical on it. You know, my finger picking style is my style. Like my brother always, used to always be like, "What the fuck are you playing?" Because he knows all like he's a technical Celtic guitarist. You know, he knows dad picking and all this crab picking and all the special. And I'm like, I want to play this note, then this note, then this note, then this note, and then those two notes, and then that note. Okay, hand, do that, and I keep doing it until it happens. And my brother will be like, what? How are you picking that? And I'm like, Tizz pick. They're like,
I like it.
Pick. No, 1-4, 1-4-3-1, both 3 and 4, 1-4-3, and he's like, how? That's not on this list of what we can do. And I'm like, this is how you do something a bit different, I guess. So I'm a little less, because I haven't gone to like perfect crab picking on a guitar. I haven't had that experience of like, oh no, I've just got it. But bass is the one that I definitely say most of the technique side comes. You try, you get it. You try, you get it. And once you get it, you can have that confidence in what you've got.
Yep. I get that.
There's nothing worse than seeing someone who hasn't perfected their slap go on stage and slap. Because don't get me wrong, that because they've got to that point, it sounds good. They've got the bop and they've got the pow. They've got those, but they look awkward playing it. It looks a little bit like cripple hands, like dang, like it just looks really
right.
And they've always got both hands will always have their little fingers out like this because they can't control their little fingers yet. And so and you see the confidence isn't there when they're doing that. Realistic. I've always said, if you go on stage, if you ever decide you're going to go on stage, you have to go on stage and be able to not look at your instrument.
That's not me. I gotta look.
I reckon, because I've seen you play like in videos and stuff.
Oh yeah, right.
And quite often you look up at the camera for quite a while. So you can play that. The point is not go on stage and do not look at your guitar.
Right.
It's go on stage and have the ability to not look at your guitar.
That's different, I suppose. Yeah.
So if you have the ability, you don't have to be like this. So you know where your fingers are going and this all the way through the track. You're gonna make a mistake and you're gonna look unconfident. If you have the ability, because of course you could, you look at what your hands are doing naturally.
Sure.
Even if you're baking a cake, you look at your hands and that's what you do. So I'm not saying if you go on stage, you have to not look at your instrument and play like this, because then it goes the other way and you look a bit weird. But you have to have the ability to confidently not have to look at your musician. When you come into solos, and if you're doing different solos each time, again,
solos I need to look.
Again, much different, and especially if you're freestyle soloing. That's a different ball game. That's a different ball game. If you're playing the same solo, though, like a lot of bands do, like especially if you're doing cover bands and you're playing the exact Chili solo, the exact Metallica solo,
right?
Again, I would stand by it and say, well, if you're going to replicate that like that, then you need to be able to replicate it looking over there. So you have that confidence to know, no matter what, your hand. Because if you go on stage, someone could chuck a beer at you, someone could shout at you, there could be a lovely lady that gets her bosoms out at you, and that's going to distract you, and you need the ability to have that hand moving whilst panties are getting thrown at your face, or whatever lucky situation you may be in,
Right.
Like I've been in so many gigs where both on stage and off stage where someone's fainted.
Oh yeah. Yep. Or a bar fight.
Yeah, bar fight. There's so many things that could happen. I've been on stage multiple times, and I've also been the sound tech on stage for multiple times. And someone will chuck a beer over the sound desk because they don't like
over the soundboard. Yeah.
Yep. Fucking horrible bastards.
I know, man. They got no respect. No, I mean, that's solo. You've seen how I play solos, right?
Yeah.
I just say, okay, I've got 8 bars, do something.
But again, even when I've seen a few videos of you, like you will be like that, and then you'll pull a bend and you'll be like,
Yep.
you know, you look. It's not just I've got to make sure I'm doing this right.
Right.
A little bit of a I'm going to do a bend now. Look at this confidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
So you've got to enjoy it, and you've got to have that confidence to build your stage presence. Even if you're the backup singer in the back corner, you've got to have your little bit of stage presence, and you get that by getting away from what you're doing on stage. You're playing guitar. You need to have the confidence to get away from that and do something else whilst that's still going, and you know it's happy to go. Like I said, it's not about constantly not looking at your guitar and just being able to recite everything like a mathematician. But it's that ability to have those moments where the confidence allows you to visually be confident as well. And that will always, the more confident you look like a guitarist, you could, especially when soloing, you can look better than you're playing.
Oh God, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? If you have that full confidence, you can make a Blink-182 pop punk solo look like you're shredding. If you give it that oomph. Now, you know, no one ever remembers any member of Blink-182, Sum 41, blah blah blah, being an epic guitar soloist.
That wasn't their thing, though.
No, but also it shows the confidence in it, because when those solos started to happen, it wasn't a forefront in a video or on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, big metal band, fantastic guitarist, big solo. The video pans to them,
The fingers,
and the confidence is there.
Right.
If in a Blink-182 track, I don't know, whatever his name, Tom Deloney or whatever his name is, came to the front of the stage, foot up on the amp, and even though he's only playing 26 notes in that solo, proper went to it, all of a sudden we'd be talking about how good the solos in Blink-182.
Well, yeah. A lot of times it's all about your delivery, you know? Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. It's, you know, confidence is a hell of a thing, and it completely changes how you look at the act that you're seeing. You know, lead singers are confident people by blood type, I guess. By nature. So often you get most bands, the person that you remember is the lead vocalist.
Oh yeah.
You know, if I said who's the vocalist of Metallica,
well, you got what's his face, Hetfield.
There you go. So there's one of them anyway. So yeah, you know that. Who's the bass player?
It's gonna be a quiz. Oh man, who's that guy they got now? I don't know.
Point proven. Yeah, I don't want you to get it. Basically, yeah, I don't want you to get it. I'm proving my point. Yeah. So like, you know,
I know what you're saying. He's a standout guy of the band.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. Whereas now this is why I like the Chili Peppers. Every one of them, even Anthony Kiedis, who can't sing a fucking note, confident as shit. Every single one of them. Who's the bass player for the Chili's, Craig?
Flea.
Who's the drummer for the Chili's, Craig?
Don't know.
I know you know this because we spoke about it. Chad Smith, anyway.
Oh, Chad Smith. Duh. Sorry.
There we go.
I always think him. I always think of him in Chickenfoot. That's where I get crossed up.
Who's the singer for the Chili's?
Kiedis.
Yeah. I know.
I'm the guitar player. You didn't ask about the guitar player.
Well, I was going to say because there's been many of them, but I'm sure you could name probably two of them.
I do one by John Frusciante or Frusciante, whatever his name is.
I'm surprised.
That's the only guy I'd think of.
Because
he's old school.
But not actually. I'm surprised that you didn't go for Navarro.
Dave Navarro?
Yeah. Dave Navarro was a guitarist for him for quite a while, actually. One Hot Minute was all Dave Navarro, I'm sure.
No, what the hell was that band? What was that band he was in?
Jane's Addiction.
That's where I first encountered him. It was the first Jane's Addiction album.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. The confidence of the whole band, like even though it's drug-fueled insanity confidence.
Oh yeah.
But you know every fucking member.
Sure.
You know the majority of people
larger than life.
Yeah, and you know it's stupid, but you know everyone looks at every member of that band And like, apart from Anthony Kiedis, weirdly, who's a fantastic, people go, he's a fantastic lyricist, not a vocalist. But people rave about Flea's bass playing, they rave about Chad Smith's drumming, and they rave about John Frusciante specifically. But again, Dave Navarro's playing as well, because I mean, look at Dave Navarro in Jane's Addiction, look at him in all those videos, man. He's more forefront than the lead singer, I feel.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, the lead singer always has to do that fucking like trousers that is pube line look so you get some attention. I hate that.
But you know, it's funny how you bring that up, how there's certain bands where you know all the guys in the band. There isn't like necessarily a friend. Look at Kiss. I mean, people can pretty much name all four guys in Kiss. I mean, there's not a guy, you know.
And that's
good example.
I mean, their confidence is kind of a side track though, because it's not musical confidence as such. It's confidence in the personas and personalities that they've generated. Show. Yeah,
right.
You know, so I reckon in super early Kiss gigs, they probably went on stage and went, "We've got this performance that nailed down. It doesn't matter if we fluff a note here and there."
But can you imagine, like when they first started out, you're playing in some place like 5 people, you got the makeup on, you got the gear, you got the whole concept, and people are looking at you like, what in the hell is this clown show? But they believed in it. See, that was the thing, you know.
If that's it, if you approach it 100%, this will work.
Yep.
Then you've definitely got an edge over everyone else. If you have full confidence in your music, to a point. Now we talk about the very small. In fact, we'll play a track and then we'll start talking about the small group of people that have the weird, falsified confidence in themselves.
But
all right. I think it's time to play something from, well, Kind of You.
Kind of Me. This is an interesting track. I figured I did the math on this. I wrote this song 41 years ago. That's pretty funny. This is from the Craig Allen Heck tribute band called Kinda Craig. This track is called Heart of Diamond.
Keep getting logged out for some reason.
Wish I had a heart of diamond, so cold as a stone. Or should I be the prince of heartache and jump?
The vocals sound like someone that I can't put my finger on.
It's supposed to be me, but it's a bit more gruff.
Your eyes are shut, but you won't see.
It's so funny. It actually followed my solos.
Cold as a stone. Wish I had
Just what's the cost of Sonos?
Right now I got a year's subscription for $100.
I might have to just out of personal interest to see what happens. I might shoot you some tracks to throw through it.
I will, not a problem. That's what I'm using it for now, just to throw my old shit into it, see what it does with it. I find it interesting.
Yeah. I've always wanted to hear what. It's only Still Smoking, really, but because that got so fucking popular.
Just send me like a WAV file or something.
Yeah. I just want to see what that would be like popped up and souped up. Because originally it was meant to be like a big full band reggae track.
Yeah.
That's where that in the recorded version, that's where that big deep bass came from.
Right.
And then I went to start putting drums on it, but like I had no back then. I had no sound. It all sounded real MIDI drums. So it just didn't fit. So I ended up just taking all of the drums off it and then leaving the rest.
I mean, you can
a weird mix.
You can prompt it for what you want it to sound like. I just push the cover button. I don't suggest anything. Just give me a cover version. Yeah. And generally, it's pretty close to what I did.
It's
Nothing more could you hide.
It's cool. It scares me that, like, in 5 years' time, XRP could just be this, and we wouldn't know.
Yeah, I read a kind of interesting article this morning about a guy that said, look at this as the next evolution, because people weren't used to CDs, they weren't used to multi-track recording, they weren't used to DAWs, they weren't used to sequencing. This is the next logical step, that we should use it as a tool, as a compositional tool. And the guy really believed it.
If not yet, like I heard another guy that I've said this before. If you have a creative idea, the final of a creative idea in your head, you know every part of it, you know exactly what you want. Does it matter how you get from A to B?
I'm starting to believe now. No, I've changed my mind.
My fear has never been like me making a track and going, I just can't play saxophone. Anyone want to play saxophone? No? Okay, AI. That's never been my worry. Artists going, I can't create. Anyone want to make my album cover? No? Okay, I'll knock it up on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
That side doesn't worry me. The worry is when there is no human musician element. It is just prompt.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Then I'm just sitting here playing stuff. It's not being sent to someone. Like, no one would come in the chat box. It's not a person.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? The whole
I get
social side of music will go if this carries on. Anyway, Heart of Diamond, kind of Craig here on XRP Radio. Like, again, with the last track that Craig took through so soon, I can't fault it. Good vocals, good composition, good piece of music. Decent production, not top tier, but you know, would still probably easily sit on a mainstream radio without sounding horrible against the other tracks that are on it. And again, we literally just said this in the green room, but I keep hearing this one guy says, you know, if you have your full creative idea in your head, for like everything, you know how the bass, you want the bass to go, drums, so everything is in your head. You've got all your lyrics. Does it really matter how you get from A to B, from that idea to a finished product? Somewhat no. And I'm gonna restate this just because I felt good saying it to Craig, so I'm gonna say it again. My fear isn't the usage of AI in itself. My fear isn't Craig turning around and going, I'm a guitarist, I haven't got a drummer, no drummer wants to work with me. I have made a drum beat that goes through AI, that goes to this piece of guitar that I wrote myself, that goes to this piece of lyrics that I wrote myself. Not bothered about that. Realistically, with the increase of automated services, automated cars, you know, lots of people use Ubers, self-checkout services. I'm not so wound up about like, well, that could have gone to that job could, you know, that album cover design could have gone to a real person that you could have paid.
Right.
Because realistically, graphic designers that are hiring themselves out aren't going to create your album cover for a $5 or $10 or free that you can do on ChatGPT.
Right.
So that side of things doesn't worry me so much. But it's when it goes, it only becomes an input thing. You type in what you go, this is what I want, right? Instead of, and this is selfishness, but instead of a whole band that comes to XRP, or in quite often cases just the lead singer, no, but the social side will be gone. You know, music will be made by nerds, computer nerds. That's what's going to happen if it goes that way. There'll be computer nerds that can type in the right prompts. Now, that's English. That's not musicianship. That's
right,
learning the correct words to make a program work. That's not being a musician. You're very good at English. Great. Sweet. You can write a good story. Fantastic. But this process, if it goes the way it's currently going and continues, will void musicians in the mainstream. Guaranteed.
Oh, yep. And like I said, I've told you earlier, you know, when I first started messing with this stuff, out of curiosity, I really felt like you. because I really thought it was just going to be non-musicians just creating the songs by typing in words. But as I dive more deeply into it, I'm starting to realize there's a whole bunch of musicians that is using this, like you said earlier. If you have like a little riff or something, you can think of a melody. They're feeding them their original riff into it to see what it spits back out,
See,
and they're going,
that
"Oh, okay, I can use that now. Great."
see
You know,
that I'm not so happy about, actually.
Really?
To be fair, so if I went to Chat GPT and I was like, I'm a guitarist, here's my guitar line, right? We are musicians at the end of the day, right?
Right.
So I'm sorry, but you need to get your brain working. You know what I mean? Turning around to something and going, here's my riff, make a melody, is not like going to your rhyming dictionary and finding the right word. They are two different. I'm sorry, it's two different things. That is a physical process to go and get something. The other one is, I don't know what to do. Do it for me. Sorry,
No, I totally
that's
get
what
that.
it is.
No, I get it.
That's what I don't like about it. You're losing the human element to it. And at the end of the day, the biggest thing that we're going to lose from this is bands.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
why be in a band? Why have other people sitting around you when you're just typing? You know, you don't need to bounce off someone. You don't need to feed anything else. All of these AI musicians will be solo artists, guaranteed.
I totally agree.
And that's a crying shame.
It is.
What we are losing in music is not what everyone's worried about. Oh, the money's not there, the jobs ain't there. You know, you're taking music away from real musicians. Fuck all that. We're losing our sociality as musicians. We're losing our ability to mingle. You know, what's going to happen is, you know, when you go to a gig, what are you going to see when you've got 4 AI artists on there? A CD player.
Yeah.
One person singing and a load of fake shit behind you. Like we're losing the human side of not music, but hanging out with 4 musicians in a room and bouncing off each other. Gone. That's what scares me. Now, one thing that I know everyone can do, even if you can't get a bass player to play on your track or a drummer to play on your track, we're musicians. We fucking know drummers. We know bass players. Even if they're not going to play on it, you can send them a track and they go, why don't you do a little A rundown? Because musicians love having input. You're not going to turn around to anyone that you know. Like, if Craig, if you turn around to me and sent me a track and go, I don't know what to do with this bass. I am a bass player. I'm going to go, you're asking me. You're asking me. I'm listening to that. And I'm telling you. Right. And if what I say goes in your track and I listen to it, fucking wicked.
Right on.
You know, remember how happy I was when you put in that and in the blue corner in the Cluckzilla thing?
That was your idea.
Exactly. And I was so happy. Now,
great.
What would you have got if you turn around to AI and go, instead of me, and go, I don't really know what to do at the start of this section, and you didn't, and I didn't say that. What would you have got from AI, do you think?
Not a clue, to be honest.
And what wouldn't you have got from the AI? Me turning around going, that was my idea. This is wicked. This is such a cool thing. You know, that fun part of it is gone. You know,
well, the whole
when you
interaction.
sit down, when you're sitting down and all of a sudden your guitarist presses on his pedal and makes a wicked like sound, all those experimental things as well are now gone.
I totally agree.
Because you are saying, I want this, and you get this. There's no experimentation in it. And I hate to say it's looking at ideas, because realistically, right, when you did that, say, I don't know what you did with Sunu, but say at some point you've gone, I want a melody for this, right?
How
many melodies did you go through?
Oh, like 2.
Exactly. How many melodies, different ideas would you have gone through in a band in a rehearsal studio?
Hundreds. Yep.
That's what I only today have I managed to vocalize it properly. But that's what I'm scared of. Not the quality of the music, not how it's, not whether it's entertaining, not the fact that there aren't musicians involved, because there is a person involved from a creative element. But it's everything that came from sitting in a room with a band, with a producer, with all of this, all of that social side where humans spoke to each other. Like the creativity is the last kind of bastion in this that I would say outside work, people get together and talk about something that isn't just menial life shit.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right.
And that's what's being got rid of now. And my fear is in 20 years, humans are just going to be sitting in one room apartments with we're going to evolve to have one big finger and one big scoop, and we'll have all of our food on our scoop, and we'll have one big finger to press our phones and press the buttons that we need. And that will be human life. You know what it reminds me of? Wall-E.
What? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That is the dystopian fear that I have about AI. Not that it's going to take over the world, not it's going to Skynet shit. None of that. I'm not scared about that because at the end of the day, electricity can be turned off.
Good point.
You know, at the end of the day, right, no matter what happens, even if, you know, AI somehow fucks up the button, we can take an axe to a power cord. You know, we can turn off the uranium reactor. We can douse the coals in the coal refinery. You know what I mean?
Right. I do.
So that don't bother me. None of that. But the music, that was a great track. I can't. If it wasn't you, if I didn't know it was you, it was placed to me on the side. I had no AI stigma attached to it. I would say that's a great track, well produced, great lyrics, awesome stuff, radio quality, well done, kind of Craig.
Right.
And then someone will pop up and go, "That was all AI," and I go, "I hate myself."
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, definitely. Well, but what you're talking about, it branches off my whole thing where I don't care for cell phones. I don't care for the disconnect. I don't care for social media. That's a whole nother conversation. But it kind of stems from that. You know, we don't sit down. You don't go to dinner anymore and talk to someone. You sit there and you scroll on your phones while you're waiting for your food to show up. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Conversations at the moment on the internet, even between me and the missus, are, "Have you seen this reel?" And when both of us are in doom scroll mode, we walk into the other room just to say, "Have you seen that yet?" And then we walk off. It's bad, and I know that's bad.
I've said before, conversation is a dying art. Nothing makes me more. I'm more than happy to sit with you or one of my other friends and just sit and put the phones down and just talk. I love that because you don't get it anymore. You know?
Yeah,
I don't know. It is what it is.
DUI's popped up in the chat box saying he had a talk with someone that can't play or sing and calls them a self-recording artist. I mean, the big thing here, are you even recording?
No, there's no recording.
Are you can you be classified as an artist? You know what? Rewind a little bit. I would say that this AI, this thing that we're talking about, that is content creation.
Oh, definitely. 150. Well, so is Chat GPT. I can make an image. I can make a video. That's all content, right? I mean, that's exactly what it is.
I would say that's where the line between musicianship, as we spoke about earlier, where we're getting angry at what we make getting called content, and stuff that is just hammered out for viewage.
Yep.
Because I would say on the side, the majority of people, non-musician people that are using AI for creativity, are using it to go on social media or YouTube or a streaming platform to get numbers, numerical results,
views, and exactly. Views and likes and whatever.
You know, it's not like me making a track like Knife Edge, a very political track about a period of time where I was very pissed off about the way the country was going, big lines at the dole center and, you know, getting your benefits and whatever. And it was put to that. And I made that song because I was very angry. It wasn't really meant to be released, but people told me to. I made it so I could shout down a microphone for 5 minutes. And then it went out and it was seen in that light and it's got that feel to it. Great. Fantastic. That didn't go. I didn't even want to release it, so it definitely didn't go out to get likes, comments, numerical values. It went out so people that agreed with me went, "Yeah, he's fucking right." Honestly,
well, right.
That's where that specific track came from. It came from my anger and wanting to associate with other people's anger in the same direction. So there's a social connector there,
right?
rather than just going, this is CG A&E, so I know people like it. Here's some catchy, relatable lyrics, so I know people will like it. Here's a video that's very shiny, and it's a very short track, so I know people will watch it. And now I'll put it online because I know I will get numbers. That's scary.
Yep, I totally agree.
That's scary.
That goes back to our conversation. We've been having this conversation on and off for 2 years, or however old the show is. Why do you do what you do? That's the core of what this whole thing. Why do you do what you do?
Stupid thing is, it's one of the most prominent questions of our show, and we're probably the two worst people to answer it.
You think?
Because musically, why do I do what I do? Emotional release, I guess. I don't want anyone to hear it. People do. I get bullied with my music. It's not an enjoyable situation, honestly. So you know, not really giving a positive motivational speech there, and you always come across it like, well, I just made it for me, and then I'll pull it out, and there you go.
There's that, but I've said before, I have to do this. Okay,
yeah,
I'm hardwired to do this. Both my parents were musicians. I come from a bloodline of that. I have to do this. I can't not do this, and that's just it. So.
And I will vouch for Craig by saying he's tried to not do this and failed.
I've tried to quit. I can't stop. As long as these hands are going to work, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, it might not be as good as it used to be, but I'm sorry.
Yeah. I say it's similar. I guess my aim in that is the radio side of what we do. I am pre-built to get musicians together. That's always been kind of the main aim here. Like, exposing music is great, but it's kind of a side hustle to it. What I wanted to when I realized this radio thing was going to be a thing, like it wasn't just me fucking about on the internet, and other people got involved and it was a thing. A lot of people were like, "Oh, why don't you try and get independent music on the same playing field as mainstream music?" You know, and I could have gone that way, but my main thing was to reinvent that feeling of when I was at my mate's house with my 4 pixie friends, smoking weed, sharing music, and talking about music, and talking about what's going on in music, and talking about stupid bullshit in between as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the community side's always been there for me, and there's been times where I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I had a 6-month hiatus once. I was really ill for a while, and like I got to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore because I'm not healthy enough. And a week later, I'm back on air, snot dripping down my face, going, I'm doing a radio show, deal with it.
Yeah, but you have created such a, like you've said, such a great community. I've met so many great people through XRP that obviously, and not only that, but it's so bizarre to think about what an international reach there is. I mean, I know people from around the world now that I'm friends with, and that's all thanks to XRP. I mean, it's amazing. I never could have conceived of this, 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, there is fun moments. I had a call 2 days ago because a very, very old French pal of mine had seen the website, and he phoned up and he's like, bonjour, comment about you. And I'm at work at the moment, and they're looking at me like, what? And I'm like, oh, it's just a French musician that I knew like 10 years ago. And like, what? You just randomly speaking to a guy in France in French? I'm like, yeah.
Isn't it cool though?
What's weird about that? I'm like, I'm about to do a show with. I'm gonna go home today and do a show with a guy twice my age in America. Like, that's what's happening. Deal with it.
I know. I've met so many cool. Remember Gwen Plodocus?
Talking about Frenchmen.
Yeah, I'm still friends with him on Facebook. Great guy, great dude. I've known him for years. The Bogman. I met him on the Bogman show.
Yeah, I mean, what is great is that even when these musicians, Gwenny's calmed down very much with music, but like the friendship's still there. That's what I mean. Correct. The community is so good that we'll have people that used to make music that don't anymore pop, like just occasionally, not maybe once every 6 months they'll pop in just to be like, oh, I just thought I'd check out what's going on. I don't
Yep.
make music anymore, but like, yeah, I thought I could just come hang out with you for a little bit.
Exactly.
And like, it's very rare that I meet someone that I dislike through. In fact, the only people that I really disliked through this are the fucking DJs that I hired. You know, there's some unique people that will grind the gears a bit, but there's not, like, I haven't met anyone through XRP that has been legitimately a not nice person, which is fantastic.
Oh, I agree. No, but I totally echo what you said earlier. I mean, you know, if you would have told me 10 years ago, yeah, I'm going to be on a radio show with a guy that lives in Scotland that's 6 hours ahead of me, you know, and we're going to be great friends and do this together, I would have said, what, huh? You know, come at me again.
You see, I sometimes worry that the inbuilt me is to try and almost perversely make the weirdest situation. Like, we are good friends. I'm not taking that away from us, because we wouldn't be sitting here in the first place. But part of me sometimes worries that my head's the kind of way that's like, what would be the most weird pairing of people? Nearly 70-year-old and me, completely different musical taste, completely different part of the world, in countries that realistically shouldn't really like each other at the moment. Let's do that. Let's do that one.
That then.
Yeah. I don't know whether I'm predetermined to try and go for abstract things, so people that look at us go, oh my god, it's fucking, you know,
it works.
60-year-old man and a 37-year-old bloke, sitting together talking about music across the Atlantic.
and game, you know, and not only that, gaming, anim, movies, culture, you know, all that pop culture, all that crap, you know.
I would say if I was about 10 years younger, we wouldn't have so much to chat about with the games and the movies. You know,
probably
Stingray.
true.
What the fuck, Stingray?
I know. The first time you told me you knew what that was, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You know what Stingray is?
That was my fucking childhood. Stingray, Captain Starlet, and
I know, Fireball XL5, yeah, Joe 90, all that shit. You know that stuff. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And you know, the weird thing with that, honestly, is a lot of people turn around and go, oh yeah, he just, you know, he knows it about his dad. No, that's shit that I watched when I was young, believe it or not. It wasn't just because my dad was like, oh, look at this, it's cool, and I'd watched like 2 episodes of Thunderbirds and was like, that's done. I could probably, if I started watching a season of Captain Scarlet now, I could probably tell you the plot by the end of the season, kind of thing. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know if I got back into it, like, I would know what I was talking about.
It's so funny, man. I have the box set of Captain Scarlet, you know, the complete series. I have yet to watch one. I have to do that. It's like sitting on my shelf. I know where it is, but I haven't opened it up yet. I got to do that.
My personal feel is, out of all the Marionation stuff, Captain Scarlet was by far the best.
Okay. Yeah, you said that before.
Personal opinion. I don't know, like, Thunderbirds was a little bit nicey.
It was.
Oh no, Brad! You kind of thing.
Yeah, I know.
Whereas Captain Black was an evil beard, like, he looked like a drug addict. Like, it was so, like, it was as dark as a Marionation thing could get, I think.
Do you know what Terrahawks is?
Sounds familiar, but I'm not
Terra Hawks. Okay, I've got the complete one of that. I haven't opened that up either, but it's kind of like the evolution of all that other stuff. So that's a whole other show again.
I pulled up. It looks familiar.
Terrahawks. Yep.
Because that one wasn't. It was Gary Anderson, but it wasn't.
It's not a Gary Anderson, but it's like a competition or something. Or
no,
at the same time, I think.
Terrahawks, I'm sure, was Gary Anderson, but it wasn't the other.
Maybe
guy.
it was.
It was someone else.
Okay,
I'm gonna look now.
Yeah.
Christopher Burr,
yeah.
Jerry Anderson, sorry, and Christopher Burrs, yeah.
Well, we call him Gary here, but whatever works. But yeah. Oh man, how can we have 2 minutes to go?
I know. We're a couple of tracks. Out of the last 3 tracks, which one should we finish on?
Boy, the Brother Dynamite track is really cool.
That's a good one. We rambled on. I didn't even realize it was goodbye time.
I'm the same. I'm sorry. I'm guilty as well.
It's fine. It's fine. It's always good when the chat box is a little bit quieter, to be fair, because we get to do what the fuck we want. Hey.
Oh wow, DUI is talking about War Games. Great movie. You know that one, Tiz? 84, 85, maybe. It's like, do you want to play a game?
Yes. Do you want to play a game?
Global thermonuclear war. That was the game.
Yeah.
Yep. Great movie.
I remember it.
Cool.
Remember it. I probably only watched it once in passing, and then know the majority of it from the small clips that were around at the time. But
I saw it in the cinema back in the day.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't have been able to go to the cinema because I would be a sperm.
You would. You just make a mess on the carpet.
But I'm sure because like there was a period between when I was about probably 6 to 8 years old, and when I was 15. And pretty much every Sunday, me and my parents and my brother would go to Blockbusters. They do the free deal. So I'd pick a film, my parents would pick a film, my brother would pick a film, and we watch all of them. So like we watched a lot of films, and I'm pretty sure that would have been one of the in that thing. That would have been
probably
how I watched that. Anyway,
yes.
It's been great to entertain you all for the evening. Sorry we've had less of a hard stop, I guess, today. We kind of rolled into it, and now we're here.
Yeah, we did.
But conversation's good, and thanks for joining us, DUI. You've been a good part of the conversation. We have been reading.
Yep, same.
But for now, it's been a pleasure to entertain you all for the evening. Not that you've heard me say this a million times before. I'll be back on next Wednesday, hopefully, or I'm new job Wednesday, Thursday. It's still a little bit up in the air, but we've been sticking to Wednesdays for a couple of weeks now. It should be good.
Yeah.
I will be back on Sunday with all the latest submissions to XRP Radio. But also, I meant to speak about it more during the show, but check out the website, have a look at it, tell us what you think about it, click some buttons, tell us all the good things, all the bad things, because I will be, at some point, once we get into the finishing block, I'm going to be doing kind of a live tour on social media through the whole website and showing how it all works and stuff. So that'll be exciting for you all. So keep an eye on our social media at XRP Radio everywhere you like, and some of the places you don't.
Cool.
Any final words, Craig?
Just my usual. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for those in the chat. And thanks for checking us out. And we will see you next Wednesday.
Coming up, get up, Brother Dynamite.
Yep.
Yeah, the show in the back.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll be here next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that, I'm up for it. Right.
No problem.
It'll be the Tiz and Cat show.
Potentially, depending on how my rota's looking, like I have so much to do on this website, and Jake's like biting my ass. We still haven't put the schedule up.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've got loads of just data input to do. I've got to get the schedule calendar working, which apparently is going to be super cool because when it's up, it's going to display for whatever time zone you're in.
Yeah, I looked at that last night. I saw it didn't have anything on it yet.
There's only the tag show on Sunday that I'll put in it. So.
Okay. Yeah, that was so weird though. When I was trying to, I went back to the album manager, and it has like these placeholder graphics, right, for the album covers.
Yeah,
I tried to change them, and it didn't stay. It flipped right back.
It's just a disconnect. So obviously, if you look on the main website, and if you look at the separate track album covers, they're all correct. It's just a misconnection.
Yeah, yeah, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, it will be fixed. It will be fixed.
Yep.
One thing, everything that you see on this website, take as if something seems broken, don't take it as not as broken. Take it as it's not done yet. So, like again, if you see a track and the name is wrong on the track, don't touch it. Don't mess with it because it will be right eventually.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But the problem is with what you've done. My fear is that upload has to have gone somewhere. If you've uploaded an image and it's uploaded and it's saved, that's got to have gone somewhere. So what happened there?
Well, it's funny. I told you about that one track. I sent you that screenshot, right? That one track I tried. It was the new normal or something. It wouldn't take that. Yeah. Then I went back the next day and it worked fine.
Yeah,
maybe Jake caught it or something, or
no, it was so we had an upload limit to stop people uploading like 4-hour long podcasts, which they started doing. People would upload their whole fucking show, radio show, or a video or whatever. So we put a megabyte limit on it, which for most people would be more than enough for your 12 odd minute tracks. It's not more than enough. So yeah, I mentioned it to Jay because he's having problems. He's like, upload limit, and I was like, just double it then.
Well, you know, when I uploaded the kind of Craig album, I never do the group upload. I upload one track, then I close it. Okay.
I gotta end the thing. For everyone that's watching, see you later. Hope you have a good rest of your evening. We're back on Wednesday.
Bye-bye.
Broadcasting legend, I'm sure you'll agree. Craig lives in a studio in the USA, working on music most every day. They come together at this time each week, a wondrous pairing of these two great geeks. So stop in the chat box and say hello, and listen in wonder to the great